All right. Guess who's back, dude? So I didn't film a video last night, which I'm really bummed actually. Really bummed about. Because hold on, I gotta clean some space here. I made some barbecue sauce. It's like barbecue mayo, paprika, onion powder. Really good. Just had a little bit now. I have a whole thing of kielbasa, which is basically just like a big sausage. So that's gonna be yummy to eat, and some French fries. But what I was saying was, I didn't film a video last night, which I'm really bummed about, but it is what it is. It'll be an extra long video today, I guess. So good. But because I had a sleepover, I was sleeping over a buddy of mine was sleeping over my house last night. Played some Fortnite, some Rainbow Six Siege. It was a blast. Opened some Pokemon cards. So that was exciting. That was sick. Good night. Overall, good night. I don't really have anything to talk about, I guess. Trauma. Because I recently went to my grandma's house. My mom's side. Feels good to eat. I eat all day. And the topic of my mom came up. And without going into much into detail, she struggles from lots of trauma, right? Or I should say, she struggles with lots of uncured trauma or unresolved trauma, right? Which in my opinion is like trauma without closure or healing. Now, I don't know too much about my grandfather, but from what I've heard is that he's, not a good guy to my mom as a kid. Lots of, abuse. Verbal abuse, everything, right? And my mom's also the oldest of two other siblings. And as an older child myself, I understand the pressure of being an older sibling. You always gotta put on a good show for the younger ones and, be a role model, right? That pressure lingers all the time. And with not the help of a bad relationship with a parent, make your life a lot worse, I feel like, And so what my mom did, all this trauma, right? Basically, she's like, denial, like neglecting it, right? It's kind of like when you have homework and you just keep putting it off. I'll do tomorrow, I'll do next week. You keep putting it off until you have more homework along with the old homework, and it just all gets too much, right? And you don't know how to get you overwhelmed, you don't know how to handle it all, right? Kind of like what she did. She kept neglecting the pain and trauma, right? And now, not only has she became her father to my brother and I, but how do I explain it? I don't know, but this trauma buildup, you know, she keeps neglecting it all these years, right? And she knows it's there. I think she knows it. I hope she knows it's there. Well, probably not, right? Because if she knew it was there, you'd want to solve it. You'd want to heal yourself, right? From the trauma, but I guess not. So I guess she doesn't know she's traumatized, right? I guess she doesn't know that she has wounds that need to be healed. Now, what do I want to say? Yeah, so if you don't heal your trauma the right way, I'm not saying like drugs, that's not the right way to do it. Not the right way to do it. That's called starting an addiction. Not also good. What was I saying? Right. When you don't heal your trauma the right way and you neglect it and deny it, right? You end up with what I'll call it for now a trauma mask, right? I've noticed this with her. Well, obviously it's my mom, so I've noticed it a lot. And ultimately, the trauma mask is, I feel like when, like, you know, when you neglect trauma, you pretend it's not there, right? Excuse me. What do people that pretend do? They wear masks or costume, whatever it be, right? So she has all this trauma, right? There's this hurt little, scared little girl inside of her who's hurt from her dad, and inside, deep down in her, right? Pause, but you know what I mean. And what she does is she ignores that little girl that is banging on the walls saying, "Help me, let me out," right? This little girl is filled with just hurt, pain, verbal abuse. Most importantly, her confidence is super low. Her low self-esteem, right? So my mom puts this mask on, this trauma mask, and says, that little girl's not me. She has low confidence. I'll put on this mask. This mask says who I am. And who I am is a high confident, high value woman, right? So she becomes this narcissistic, you know, stubborn woman, whatever, right? And the worst part of it is, she doesn't see the pain that she causes everybody else, right? At the end of the day, she just gets to walk away and be like, was I confident? I don't know what that was. Was I confident? Yes. Was I independent? Yes. Did I ask for help? No. All great things, right? And it's not good. It's not okay. Not okay, right? There's a quote that I saw just recently, and it was like, not asking for help. Hold on, I'm like tearing this fucking sausage apart. Not asking for help is the refusal to keep going. But asking for help is a refusal to give up, Remember that one. Remember that one. Right? Because if you ask for help, which, you know, is a great thing to do. Everybody should ask for help. No matter what you do, you always ask for help. You could be independent, right? But you have to know when you have to know when to be humble enough to, you know, humiliate yourself. Put yourself out there, be like, hey, I failed, I need help, right? I think all of us can learn from that. 100,000%. And again, at the end of the day, she can't do that. She can't. Sadly, she can't. And the worst part of it all is she doesn't believe that she's flawed, so she won't change who she is, right? She sees herself as this, like I said, high confidence, high individuality, high everything. And she's like, what's the problem with that? Why can't I be confident? I'm like, no, you can be confident, but you have to be humble enough to know when to not be confident, right? There you go again, with the balance. Balance everything, you know what I mean? Be prideful. Of course. No one's saying you can't be prideful. But I'm saying that you have to be humble enough to know, you have to be humble enough to accept you failed. And also humiliate yourself. You know, know how to humiliate yourself, right? And by humiliate, I'm not saying like some humiliation ritual, some fucking celebrity backstory shit. God, no. I'm talking about like humiliation, like, you know, embarrass yourself. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your little protection bubble and be like, hey, open up to help. Like, hey, I failed. Who can help me? Right? That's what I mean by humiliation. Humiliation is not not like go walk in a park naked. Humiliation is accepting failure and wanting to learn from it and wanting help to learn from it. And I feel like I should obviously take that, but I have been doing that a lot, you know. I reached out to a psychologist or therapist, whatever you want to call them, I don't know. Shrink, I don't know, whatever, but I call them therapists. And it's amazing, you know, it's amazing. 13-minute long video. Holy crap, man. I'm full. I'm gonna work out. This is nice. But yeah, you know, like you gotta know, I don't know, but you gotta know when to, you know, take pride in your victories, take pride in the wins every day you do. And then also at the other end, you know, the other wolf on the other side of the farm, you know when to be humble enough to be like, yeah, I failed. And, you know, also say I'm sorry. All right? Biggest thing is ego. Right? We all let our egos like take control of everything. And I don't get that. I never understood that. Right? And I always wondered why. Like why? Right? When I fucked up with her, right? This quote I keep thinking about every day. But like, you know, I'm not changing because of the quote. I'm changing, like, you know, I'm changing for her, and that's it. But I saw the quote after. But the quote was like, you can't change. You can't truly change yourself for someone unless you truly loves, or you can't truly change yourself unless you love something else more than you love yourself. And that stuck with me. Because, of course I have an ego. I think we all have an ego. But some of us, sounds like a pimple on my neck or something. I hate pimples. But I think some people just don't know how to control their ego. You know what I mean? Or like the difference between, you know, again, taking pride in your victories, but not letting your ego overflow that bucket of pride. You know what I mean? Because then that ego turns into something else. I don't know, but that's another video for our day. But yeah. And the saying, right, where it's like, in times of disaster, people let the egos aside, right? Which basically, like, if you ever noticed it, a group of people getting together to help what for a bigger cause, right? When the cause is bigger than everyone's egos, then the egos get put aside, right? And that's kind of like, that's kind of like with her, right? I fucked up, and I acknowledge I fucked up, right? I'm not like a full-time cheater where I'm just like, yeah, I cheat on you, get the fuck out of here, bitch, fuck off. But no, I'm like, I'm a flawed human being, and this is one of those times where I, you know, failed to, what's it called? I let my flaws show. I let my temptation, my flaws take control, take the wheel, right? And I acknowledge it, that I fucked up. And now I'm willing to change, you know, I'm willing to better myself for her. She deserves this amazing person. I'm going to be that person. So, you know, like I said, I realized that I do have a little bit of ego. And so I'm like, I'm putting that ego aside because we have a bigger problem at hand, right? Which is her, right? I promised to deliver a long video, so there you go. But I guess, you know, just the main lesson is balance. Pride versus humble, right? So, yeah. I need a lot of water. My mouth is like sticky. We get sticky. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll probably do like an 8-minute video. This is like 2 videos in one, so you're welcome. But I need to make up for last night, so yo. So yeah, just, you know when to take pride in small victories, and know when to be humble when you mess up, when you fuck up, and, you know, humiliate yourself by asking for help and being vulnerable, because that's where the true strength lies, you know? All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I got a film of, oh, fuck. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Peace out. I hope you guys are safe. I hope everything is going great. And, yeah, again, treat these comment sections as, you know, little therapists, like, sessions, because, you know, it's gonna sound corny as hell, but as a kid, those papers they hand out to you, like in like elementary school, first grade, it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I remember I have the actual paper in my basement right now. It's like from first grade in my folder. It's like dusty as hell, but it's like, I want to make people happy, or like people laugh or something like that. So, and I mean, obviously I still hold up to this day. So if there's any problems you guys going on, you know, want to talk about something going on, I can offer some advice, anything, you know. I'm here. Just text anything that's going on in your life in the comment section. This is a safe, I want this to be a safe space. You know, this is my digital diary, so, you know, I never expected it to turn into something, but I realized some people comment on the videos, and, yeah. So, like I was saying, the comments are a safe space. Feel free to text whatever's on your mind, anything, and, yeah, best of luck with whatever you got on your life, and see you guys tomorrow night. Peace.